Welcome, my beautiful friends. Tonight, we are going to explore a deeply healing truth about the illusion of waiting for an apology, and the profound, weightless peace that finds us when we finally realize that true closure is a door we unlock from the inside. Deep within a quiet, coastal mountain village where stone cottages nestled against green hills and the air smelled of rain, sea salt, and wild jasmine, there stood an old, abandoned garden at the edge of the cliffs. Walking along the cobblestone path near this garden was a young man named Elias. Elias was 20 years old, with dark hair brushed back by the evening breeze, wearing a soft wool sweater and canvas coat. His face was gentle, but his eyes carried a heavy, lingering fatigue. Elias was trapped in a cycle that was slowly draining the joy from his life. For over a year, he had been walking down to the edge of this old stone wall where a heavy, iron gate stood locked. Behind that gate lay a scenic coastal trail leading to bright, open meadows overlooking the ocean, a place he deeply longed to walk. But the gate was locked tight, and the key belonged to someone from his past, a close friend who had walked away without an explanation, leaving Elias with 100 unanswered questions, broken promises, and an unhealed heart. Every single evening after finishing his work in the village, Elias would walk down to that cold stone gate. He would sit on the damp wooden bench nearby, staring through the iron bars, replaying the past in his head like an endless, painful loop. He kept telling himself that if he could just hear them say, "I'm sorry," if he could just understand why they treated him that way, or if they would simply acknowledge the hurt they caused, then, and only then, would he finally have permission to turn the key, open the gate, and move forward. He believed with all his heart that his peace was held hostage in the hands of the person who had broken his trust. And so, out of a desperate, longing hope for an apology that would never come, Elias stayed frozen at the threshold, keeping himself a prisoner to his own grief. As the seasons changed, the heavy coastal fog settled into Elias's daily life. He smiled less, his voice grew quiet, and he stopped making plans for his own future. He was sacrificing his entire present moment, waiting for a gesture from someone who had already moved miles away, completely living their own life, oblivious to his suffering. One quiet evening, as a deep indigo dusk fell over the ocean and warm yellow light flickered from the village cottage windows, Elias sat on the bench and buried his face in his hands. Tears of deep, burning exhaustion spilled onto his sleeves. He whispered into the quiet wind, asking why he was stuck, why he was never given the answers or the respect he deserved so he could finally be at peace. The soft, rhythmic sound of footsteps crunching on gravel brushed through the quiet air. Walking down the path was an elderly carpenter from the village named Master Thomas. Thomas was a quiet man in his 70s, with a weathered, kind face, silver hair, and a worn canvas apron smudged with sawdust. He carried a small brass lantern that cast a gentle, amber glow over the wet cobblestones. Thomas didn't offer cheap advice, nor did he tell Elias to dry his tears. He simply walked over, set his lantern on the stone wall, and sat down on the wooden bench beside the young man. He pulled 2 small ceramic cups from his coat, poured hot chamomile tea from a flask, and handed one to Elias. They sat in silence for a long moment, listening to the distant, rhythmic crash of the ocean waves below. Finally, Master Thomas looked over at the locked iron gate, then turned his calm, creased eyes to Elias, asking him gently why he spent every evening staring at a lock when the entire cliffside was wide open. Elias wiped his eyes, his voice trembling as he gestured toward the iron bars. He explained that he couldn't just walk away. He told Thomas that the person who locked this gate had taken the key. He wept that without an explanation, without an apology, without them taking responsibility for how deeply they hurt him, the door to his future remained shut. He felt that moving on without their closure would mean pretending the pain didn't matter. Master Thomas listened with deep, patient empathy. He took a slow sip of his tea, stood up, and walked over to the gate. He held his lantern high, letting the amber light illuminate the entire stone wall. He motioned for Elias to come stand beside him. Elias walked over, squinting through the dim light. As the lantern illuminated the wall, Elias's breath caught in his throat. The stone wall extending out from the gate had fallen down decades ago. For 50 yards on either side of the iron frame, there was no wall at all, only low, mossy rocks easily stepped over, leading directly into the open, rolling green hills and the wide ocean view beyond. The locked gate was standing entirely alone in an open field. Master Thomas turned to Elias with a soft, compassionate smile. He pointed out that the lock was real, but the prison was something Elias was creating himself. The person who hurt him had only locked a single door. It was Elias who chose to stand in front of it every night, refusing to take 5 steps to the left where the path had always been wide open. The old carpenter laid a warm, heavy hand on Elias's shoulder. He reminded him that we often confuse their accountability with our healing. We tell ourselves that we need them to apologize so that our pain feels valid. But true closure is not a gift that someone else hands to you. Closure is a decision you make inside your own mind the moment you realize that your peace is too precious to leave in the hands of the person who mistreated you. He told Elias that waiting for an apology from someone who lacks the self-awareness to give one is like waiting for rain in a desert. You will only exhaust yourself. You do not need them to admit they hurt you in order for the wound to heal. You do not need them to understand your pain for your heart to deserve peace. Their silence is your answer. Their absence is your key. The truth washed over Elias like clean, cool water. A sudden, breathtaking clarity filled his chest. He looked at the iron gate, then looked at the vast, open hills stretching out beside it, green and quiet under the emerging stars. He realized with a profound, tearful relief that he had been holding himself hostage. He had been waiting for permission to live from the very person who had taken his joy. Elias took a long, slow, deep breath, the first unburdened breath he had taken in months. He stepped back from the cold iron bars. He didn't break the lock, he didn't demand an answer from the night, and he didn't wait any longer. He simply took 5 quiet steps to the left, stepped right over the low mossy stones, and walked onto the soft, open grass of the cliffside path. The moment his boots touched the open trail, the lingering heavy fog in his mind seemed to lift. The fresh ocean breeze caught his coat, and he looked out at the endless horizon of stars reflected on the dark sea. He turned back to Master Thomas, bowed his head with quiet, genuine gratitude, and walked forward into the fresh, open evening. He didn't need their key anymore. He had unlocked his own life. My beautiful friends, as you prepare to rest your body and quiet your mind tonight, let us sit together in the peaceful sanctuary of this truth. Take a gentle, honest look into your own heart tonight. Whose apology are you still sitting in the cold waiting for? What unwritten letter, unsaid explanation, or missing recognition are you holding on to, hoping it will somehow undo the pain of yesterday? It is a deeply human thing to want fairness, and to want people to see the impact of their actions. But placing your healing in the hands of someone who couldn't treat you with care will only keep you standing at a locked gate in an open field. Tonight, let this be the place where you stop waiting at the gate. Acknowledge the hurt, honor the care you gave, but then, let out a long, slow sigh of complete release. Tell your tired mind. Their understanding is not required for my healing. My closure belongs to me, and I choose to walk forward tonight. Let go of the need for the final word. Step 5 quiet paces to the left, around the illusion of the door, and reclaim the vast, beautiful landscape of your own life. Lay your head down gently on your pillow, let your limbs sink into the deep warmth of your bed, and allow the calm rhythm of your breathing to soothe your spirit into a weightless, profound sleep. Take beautiful care of your soul, protect your precious inner peace, and until we walk this quiet path together again, peace be upon you.